This is a player, if you're like, okay, we think this is Kyler Murray's job, because he's sort of alluded to it, the fact that he wants reps with the ones, and you're splitting, and you know how this training camp situation goes, oh, we're going to let it play out. But at some point, there comes that time where you're like, no, I want my reps with the what? I want as many reps with Jefferson as I can possibly get. And so as you guys are, I'll ask you from the player's perspective, if you're going through this situation, are you like, hey, let's just make the call? Like, let's go. What are we doing?
I think it's hard, Mitch, right? This is a first-round draft pick.
No doubt.
Yeah, this is supposed to be your guy.
Like, if J.J. McCarthy wasn't a first-rounder, that's a different conversation. Like, if he's a third, fourth. I mean, look like what happened in Cleveland. Like, the fifth-rounder starting over the third-rounder. The fact that J.J. McCarthy is a first-round pick, I think that's why, Mitch, you can't just be like, I'm going to hand everything over to you. There's a process to it. What do you think?
No, exactly. You put the draft capital, you brought this guy in, you believed in him, you trust him, and you can see that he still has a little bit of spark. But that being said, that guy becomes available. You can't refute what he's able to do. From the player's perspective, especially as a center, I want reps with the guy I'm going to be playing with the most. But that being said, if you truly, as an organization or as a team, don't know who that is, then fine by me. Let's do a trial by fire. It's cool.
All right. Well, they're not the only quarterback. But sometimes we don't have as many as we go into the season. We got a couple this year. The Browns are another one. They have heard this before. They're splitting first-team reps between Shedeur, who went 3-4 last season, Deshaun, who missed the entire year recovering from that torn Achilles. So is Cleveland head coach Todd Monken ready to take a number one quarterback soon?
I really don't know. I'm not going to name a number one, so that I am not going to name. That chances are that's not going to. I shouldn't say that. Chances are I will not. Now, once we get to the fall, we'll have to dissect the reps how we see fit. I just don't see it after the way Shedeur's played and Deshaun's played. They both played well enough to earn the right to compete to start. I'm not there yet. That's the reality of it.
LeGarrette, is this about identifying your long-term quarterback here in Cleveland, or is this about trying to win right now? When you look at these two guys.
They can be two in the same. I am on the Shedeur train. I want to go with him. I think he provides a spark to the offense. I think that he comes in and plays with a chip on his shoulder, knowing that he got drafted where everyone thinks they know that he should have been a high draft pick. You got Deshaun Watson, who's had opportunities to prove himself. He's had opportunity after opportunity to prove himself. And you got Shedeur, a young guy with a young offensive coordinator and a young head coach that got a little fire lit up under him from being a fifth-round draft pick, even though, hey, you made $17 million with jersey sales and all that stuff. Oh, hey, he's a great football player, and I think that you got to go with him, and you got to let him ride out with the new head coach and the new offensive coordinator.
So we're discussing whether this is a win now situation or is this their quarterback is in the future situation. It's so hard when you think about these two gentlemen, especially when you think of Deshaun Watson. Not too long ago, this guy was considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and it was a while ago. And then you have someone like Shedeur, who has accomplished everything, a lot of things in his young career. When I look at these two gentlemen, I'm hoping that they have good careers. If I am the Cleveland Browns, I'm hoping that I get another shot at a quarterback in the future. So when I'm looking at these two, I'm finding out who can win for me now, who can make sure that I keep this Cleveland Browns train with all the guys that they have offensively. Quinshon Judkins, who had a great rookie year. They have another really good young tight end. You have some wide receivers now. Which one of these two can help me win now? And then hopefully I can prepare for the future with somebody else. But it's just hard to say right now with Shedeur having not a lot of opportunities yet, and then Deshaun, we haven't seen him in a few years. So, Mitch, it's a hard conversation, a hard battle. I just think that's win now, and we'll see later.
I think the few seconds you took to gather your thoughts, we're all sitting there thinking the same thing. But what you said, this is two in the same. Let's see if we can win right now, and then maybe that answers a question if this is one of the guys who can step in for the long term. A guy who I kind of wrote off at first, and this is me putting my hand up because of what I thought was off the field stuff, and he turns out from everyone in the locker room, he's a charismatic dude, yes, but he's a professional and cares about winning. I can ride with that guy, and so can a locker room for that matter. And then Deshaun Watson, first time he's been healthy since 2023. If he steps in, plays well, great. But Lord knows I don't want to be the decision maker on that one.
Yeah.
When you just said, hopefully Cleveland can get a quarterback in the future, I think everyone in Cleveland's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Dawg Pound, let me ask you something right now. What happens if the Browns add a proven pass rusher, give this defense real bite again, and suddenly make life a whole lot easier for Shedeur Sanders? Because that is exactly why the idea of Hassan Reddick landing in Cleveland is so exciting. And let's be clear from the jump, this is not official. This is a possible move, a Browns rumor, but it is the kind of move that could shake up this roster in a big way. Reddick is still unsigned heading into mid-June, and both ESPN and Spot still list him among the notable free agents available. That alone makes this a conversation worth having. Now listen, when people hear a name like Hassan Reddick, they immediately think pressure, speed, burst off the edge, and chaos for opposing quarterbacks. And that is exactly what Cleveland needs if this team is serious about supporting a young quarterback like Shedeur Sanders. Because let's be real, the best way to help a young QB is not just with weapons, not just with protection, but with a defense that can get him the ball back, create short fields, and force opponents to play from behind. That is how you build confidence. That is how you help a young offense grow. That is how you change the whole vibe of a football team. Reddick's production dipped lately with just 2.5 sacks in 13 games in 2025, and that is part of why he remains available, but the upside is still obvious. NFL.com and ESPN both noted that while the recent numbers are down, he still has the traits to make an impact in the right system, and that is where Cleveland gets interesting. Imagine Hassan Reddick coming off the edge in this Browns defense, hunting quarterbacks, collapsing pockets, forcing rush throws, and setting the tone early in games. Suddenly, this defense is not just trying to survive, it is attacking, it is dictating, it is creating momentum. And when that happens, Shedeur Sanders does not have to feel like he needs to score on every single drive. He can play smart, stay patient, trust the run game, trust the system, and let the game come to him. That is the kind of environment where a young quarterback can actually grow into a real leader. That is the kind of football that wins in December, and that is why this rumor makes so much sense for the Browns. You are not signing Reddick to be the whole defense. You are signing him to be a weapon, to be a spark, to be a guy offenses have to account for on every snap. And the second that happens, everybody else benefits. The corners benefit because the ball has to come out faster. The linebackers benefit because quarterbacks start forcing plays. The offense benefits because field position improves. And Shedeur Sanders benefits because now the team around him starts doing more of the heavy lifting. That is how Cleveland can become dangerous, not by asking one player to save everything, but by putting the right pieces together and building a complete team. Now, yes, there are fair questions. Reddick is 31, and his last couple of seasons have not matched the peak years when he was putting up double-digit sacks. Spot market analysis even notes that his price has normalized after 2 less productive seasons, which could actually make him more realistic for a team looking for value. And honestly, that is why I like this fit. If the Browns can bring in a motivated Hassan Reddick on the right deal, you are talking about a veteran with real pass rush pedigree, playoff-level experience, and something to prove. Those are the kinds of players who can change a locker room and elevate a defense fast. So picture it, Shedeur Sanders leading a young Browns offense, playing with confidence, getting extra possessions, shorter fields, and more breathing room, while Hassan Reddick is out there wrecking drives, blowing up protections, and making opposing quarterbacks miserable. That is a formula Cleveland fans can get behind. That is a team that can punch back. That is a team that can surprise people. And if this move ever became real, I am telling you right now, the rest of the AFC would have to pay attention. Dawg Pound, what do you think? Should the Browns go after Hassan Reddick and add another dangerous piece to this roster, or should they spend that money somewhere else? Drop your take in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more Browns rumors, Browns news, and real Dawg Pound reactions every single day.